All right, I have it all chopped up. This one doesn't look good. Let me take that out. So I have it all chopped up. And this is one of those rotisserie pans that you cook a turkey in. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take you over to my dehydrator and let you see how I have it set up. All right, now I have parchment paper down here. This is all the way at the bottom. And if you notice, I have all my trays out. Here's my Excalibur here. I'm going to put one of the tray in. And what I'm going to do, like if you've watched my kale video, I'm just going to throw it all in here. Now, I do not recommend you do this. Before I had other dehydrators, and you can't do that. But with this Excalibur, it just kicks booty. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw it in here and stuff it as much as I can. As it dehydrates, I just grab it from the bottom and I just put it on top. And I just keep moving it up and moving it up. And it just starts dehydrating. You'll see it get lower and lower and lower. I'm saying that because as it's doing it at night, I'm going to let it run all night. And then when I get up in the morning, I'm just going to grab the part that's dehydrated more at the bottom and I'm just going to place it up top. So, just so that the fan can be able to feed through it. But yeah, I just stuff it. So let me go ahead and start putting it on in. All right, so there you go. You see, I still have a little bit of room up here. I mean, I've stacked it where it's all the way up. Like if you watched my kale one where I'm making a powder, I've stuffed it where I'm literally stuffing it and putting the lid on so that it don't fall out. And I noticed that one thing I like to do is when I have one tray in right here, I can put the lid on under it so it can stay, so as stuff falls, it can fall on the tray and I can just go ahead and toss it back in there. So anyway, this is what it looks like. There's still some space in there, so I probably could have chopped up maybe 2 more cabbages, but these are some pretty big cabbages, a lot of them. But anyway, only with the Excalibur. I don't know of any others, but I know with this Excalibur, this baby works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put it on like 150 for like maybe an hour or two. And the reason why I'm doing that is just because I want to get rid of all this water. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut it down to 135 and I'm just going to let it go. Now I'm not really sure how long it takes, depends on where you're at, the humidity and all that other kind of stuff. But you just want to make sure you'll see the end result on what it looks like. You'll see what it looks like and how you can be able to tell it's done. So anyway, here it is. And you see it's just thrown in. So yeah, so there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put on 150 and then maybe after an hour, I'm going to go ahead and drop it down to 135. Maybe an hour or two, maybe 2 hours. So anyway, we'll be back. All right, so this is what it looks like. Now this is around 15 hours later. So what I ended up doing around 8 hours later after I put it 8 hours later, when I got up, I didn't tape it. Sorry about that. I went ahead and I grabbed it like this and I just rotated it. If you see my hands, I'm just flipping it. And I'm doing the same thing here. Because there's stuff that's dehydrated and there's stuff that's not. Now, if you would have put it on a separate tray and divided it out, you probably could have it more organized and you could see what's definitely dehydrated and what's not. But I don't have time for that. So this is just the way I did it. I'm going toward the back and I'm just flipping it, breathing it out, and I'm, adjusting it or whatever. So let me flip it again. And I'm going to let it keep going. So like this right here, this is not done. This is still soft. But there's other parts that I feel are soft, but I'm just breaking it apart. And it's not a big deal. For me, it can go for a while. For me, it was time. And I wanted to get it done because I've been trying to keep my dehydrator going so I can dehydrate as much food as possible so that our family, we can have vegetables and I don't have to have it inside of my refrigerator. But look at the big difference from what it was. Do you remember how high it was? Yeah, so it's like super low and it's going to get lower. So I'm just going to let it keep going and I'm going to rotate it like every 4 hours or so. I'm just going to check on it again. So it may take 2 days for this to get done. But keep in mind how stacked high it was. So I'm just bringing you back in. This is how I'm doing it. Now, this is not how you have to do it. It's just this is how I am doing it. So if you have a better way of doing it, by all means, of course, do it. And, you can put below what you'd like to do or not. It's all preferences. But again, we're just in it together. During these tough times, we're just in it together. And we're, again, keeping all in prayer and praying for the best. So we'll be back. All right, we're going on around 18 hours worth. I'm just going to fill around. And I'm just rotating it again. And a lot of it feels dry, but I'm going to let it go. I'm thinking I'm going to let it go for another at least 24 hours. Like this right here is actually soft. So, yeah, there we go. What I'm doing is just kind of airing it out so I get good airflow. And again, I have my tray here so it can catch any little tidbits that fall. Alright. And I can either make a powder out of it, or I can just put it in a bag and put water in it and rehydrate it. I most likely will probably do a powder out of it. So there we go. We're around 18 hours in. And look, it's really low. Really, really low from where it started. It was here. Yeah, it was about right here. So I'm going to let it go for a little bit longer. Yeah, like this right here. Soft. So we're going to let it go. We'll be back. I'm trying something different. I went ahead and I moved it up. I grabbed the majority of it that was down below and I just moved it here. What dropped, I just went ahead and threw back in there. I figure I can get it closer to the fan so it can rotate more through it. So, we will see. Alright, for me it's been around 26 hours. So, it is done. There is nothing. I've been poking around it and it's all very crispy. Like I even try to find the ones that are thick. Like I don't feel any of them. You can like soft or anything like that. These are all done. They're crispy. You know, they're break it apart. They feel good. Keep filling around with my glove to feel any softness or anything like that. Yeah. So, what I'm going to do on the safe side, because I know I don't feel any, but I want to be safe than sorry because I don't want to ruin the whole batch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it go. So I'm going to let it go for another maybe 6 hours or so, just to be safe.